Hey, doing everybody? In my classes last week, somebody asked me about something like a tech deck, and I have just a quick visual example for you here from another program that somebody played with. This is a bit detailed. I'm gonna keep it a lot simpler than this, but make it a very. I did it in about 8 minutes without talking through it. So I want to show you something like this since I just did a wheel design in my last video. Um, and show you how things can be patterned and multiplied by certain design styling built in here. Just easier to see than explain. Um, I'm going to actually right click on one of these tabs down here and delete this and then create a new part studio because this is where you want to be. Keep in mind your naming is just like Google Chrome on this if you haven't done so yet. And seeing something interesting here, just rename as your full name, period, class, and then make sure that it is shared with me, my email, dbonk@trschools.com. That way you guys can sync up. Anyway, tech deck. That I'm going to not talk so much through so I can quickly rip through a design and show you something a little bit interesting. So the last video was like half an hour. This is going to take me another 7 or 8 minutes tops. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be me drawing at my speed. Doing this a certain way just so you can see the styling of it. Whenever you see me right click and escape in this menu come up, you should be hitting the escape key if you were to repeat this process. My recording software, I'm going to keep repeating this because I have to explain why it's different from what I want you to do. My recording software is going to interfere with me just striking the escape key and turning off something like the line as I'm drawing it. I need to end the use of that line. Escape on the keyboard is how I do it. I have to right click and hit this. So if you want to try this, you just have to do that. Now I'm going to use symmetry. The last design, the wheel design that I did in my videos here, I centered myself around the origin or the axis of the program. And this is the origin point. I'm going to do the same thing here with this tech deck design, which I've already done. And then I'm going to use symmetry or mirror. It's telling me first select a line. I'm going to use one of my planes here. You could also use a line, but then I'm going to select the things that I have to mirror. In this case, I can click, hold, and drag and select all those at the same time. And now I've got a mirrored version of that. So getting closer to what a skateboard looks like. If I wanted to, just for funsies, I have this tool selected. If I have the plus symbol, I'm going to use that tool. If I hit escape or I'm going to right click and escape out of this tool, I have my arrows here. If I want to, in this situation, I can modify it now or sculpt, and it's also going to sculpt with symmetry. So if I want to update my design a little bit, make the ends of this a little bit longer, or even get super technical on life and dimension this out, where I create a specific angle here. Since that's not quite right, I actually push those out and get the right angles that I'm looking for. So if I wanted to make this longer, again, I would have to escape out of the tool so I get a white arrow and I can pull this out a little bit further. Then I'm going to go 3D, just like I did with my last. I click a 3D object, and this is trying to pull material straight at me. I'm going to change this menu and make it, oh, that's not what I wanted. I want to make the change here symmetric. So now I'm pulling from the middle out. And again, I'm just going to sculpt like I did in my last video and make this visually look the way I want it to. And then to round it, I'm going to sketch on the top here. I'm going to create a I'm going to do this, thinking about it. I'm going to make a center point rectangle here. This corner, and I'm going to round each corner a bunch. This is going to be sculpting the contour of the board. And then I'm going to draw another rectangle bigger than the whole thing. Just happened. I lost my controls on that curve because I didn't finish it the right way. I missed the step. I didn't hit the green check mark when I needed to. These are a little bit too big. Here we go. That's what I want. Now, this is just demo stuff, but I'm going to go back to my center point rectangle. I'm still in sketch 2, and what's going to happen, I'm going to remove material, remove everything that's there, and I'm going to do this symmetrically. So it's going to, I just drew on the top surface here, but my cut is going to go up and down around that. So it's just going to cut out everything that I didn't need. So sort of sculpted that kind of how I wanted it to be, but it doesn't matter. It's not exact. And then what's this? I'm going to click here. I'm going to mirror this to be mirrored. I'm going to extrude, make this symmetric. They're a little too high. Bring this just down some. Update it. Wheel. It's going to look something like this. Alright, but what I can do is I can sketch this. I can also mirror these and make a copy of that here. Update it. Now I've got 2. Now I can do the same thing on the other side. Put a sketch originally here. Now I can use what I did on the other side. I'm going to transfer the lines from the other side using this use or project and convert. I'm going to click these edges and these edges of the wheels that I just made. So I made one. Copy a second with a mirroring on a center line, and now I'm projecting those across to another surface. And I'm going to do the same thing I did the other side. That 8 millimeters. I don't know what I did with my other ones. This was 8.4. I can make them the same exact measurements. And as I go, you can see that I've got a list of parts now because of the way I'm building these. These are extrudes, and every extrude that I'm making, there's new, add, remove, and intersect. And I'm solid here, so I'm creating new solid objects. They're called parts down here in this list. These 4 wheels, if I wanted to make them all black, I could click the first one in the list, hold the shift button down on the keyboard, click the last that I want, or I can grab any range of these and right click and edit the appearance all at the same time. I can make them like, let's just make them darker, like blackish colors. skateboards, and then part 3 and 4 should be, part 2 and 3 are going to be more like a steel look. So I can click those two objects, change the appearance, make that like a silver-ish look. There's also a mixer here, so you can go through and you can try and go for like a gradient, and then you can pick a specific color then after that. But you can do this and just keep going. Sketch here. Right now I'm going to sketch through something, meaning I've got a sketch that I just created on the bottom of this board here. I'm going to use a center point rectangle. I'm going to go and align myself basically to the very middle of this axle. Just pull that out, and then because again I still have this origin and symmetry, I can go and select the mirror line. This is where you got to be real careful. You can't select the wrong thing in a situation like this. You select this axis as the mirror line, and then I can select that. It's going to repeat it. I missed the line. You can see there's a section over here that didn't copy over. It's because I didn't quite highlight it the right way. Now I can extrude. It's going to go up. It's going to go too far through everything. I can bring this back down. You can see it's turning green, and the reason is because it's now looking at this as an add-on to the board, because here it went from new to add. That's just the default part of the program, but I'm going to change that, so it's going to see it as a different part, different material. Okay with that. These two. Make it like obnoxious black. Alright. Honestly, we have to take a look at another design to see what the connectors look like, but that's close at this point. Close enough. I can just build something that wraps around that, because on like these don't have to roll. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. One of the really neat things is you run into problems like this in software like this all the time. I'm drawing here, and now I've got stuff in the way. Sophisticated purposes, section view here at the bottom. There's another view menu. I can look through things. I can make translucent views. I can do this that way. I'm going to use this thing called section view. If I turn on section view and I click this, it's going to split the entire object for me. I'm just going to section it off that way. I can draw where I need to draw. Now I'm still in my sketch. I need to, my drawing here, do something a little bit unique. I'm going to project this. And I'm going to then offset it also. And let's see what happens here. If I extrude this symmetrically, I'm going to not have this translucent. I need to shade it again so we can actually see what's going on. Not planned out, not what I was trying to do. This section view thing is a little iffy. I'm doing is I'm making a construction line. I just did something that's really unique, but it's interesting to see and know what happens in lots. I want to use symmetry here and repeat this angle exactly the same on the other side of here. And all I did was I drew a line, and this dotted thing turns anything that you draw into a construction tool. So it means nothing in terms of the software and what you're trying to draw. It just helps you lay out what you're trying to do. And all I did that for was so I can mirror. I have to use this as my mirror line and then click that so I can have a symmetry design. Because then what I want to do is actually cut away this and this, because the final design here that I'm looking to deal with is symmetric. Not quite that big. I'm looking for something more like technical design. There we go. I'm going to go back into the sketch. I like what I just did. And I just created, I know that was difficult to follow, but we'll get there. I'm going to mirror this. Now I had to click the mirror line. Now I'm going to click what I want mirror, and I'm going to click this, 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 and this. And with luck, I have to go back in here, update my extrude. So I was able to take the sketch and transfer it over. Now I have to go to the extrude, and I can click in here, and it's going to do what it did here. I won't let me add because of that's okay for design purposes or whatever. But that's a chunky kind of design. It's quick, but I mean, let's see how long that took once I finish this video here. Any post modifications, quick to show you. I'm taking fillet tool, 3mm, depends on the size of this whole thing. Yeah, I can, let's see if it lets me click on everything. Depending on the design, sometimes, yeah, you can just click on surfaces. Sometimes you have to click on edges. You can see that was a good quick mod. And then I can go up here, turn the visibility of my drawing surfaces or planes off. Another thing, default view, just click this corner of the cube. When you're looking at top, look at the bottom right corner. I click that, that brings you back to your default view. Zooms in nice when you turn the visibility of all the planes off. And that's like super quick tech. I mean, there's all sorts of other mods, actually, little things. Round out. The wheels, the insides and the outsides would have like different. That looks a lot more like what a skate wheel looks like because they have flex on the inside of it, so it's routed the right way. That's a super quick, just modeling of a visual for a project. It's not super technically accurate, but teaches you a ton. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys.